Yeah. To order. Okay.
Denver?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. In case we had anyone visiting.
Thank you. Okay, this is the regular meeting of the Shade Tree Commission. We are recording, right?
Yes.
This is the regular meeting of the Shade Tree Commission of the Borough of Fairhaven. In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, public meetings may be held in person or by means of communication equipment to include streaming services and other online meeting platforms. This meeting is being held in person and through the Zoom meeting platform being broadcast from Borough Hall, 748 River Road, Fairhaven, New Jersey. Public participation for this meeting on February 7th, 2024 is available by call-in phone number or through Zoom. Members of the public will be on mute until it is time for questions or comments, which will be announced. At that time, the public has the opportunity to question, comment by phone or through Zoom by the raise hand button and will be called on at the appropriate time. Notice of this meeting was sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and the Star Ledger on January 26, 2024. Posted on the Borough website, the bulletin board in the municipal building, and has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. With adequate notice having been given, the Shade Tree Commission Secretary is directed to include the statement in the minutes of this meeting. Okay, roll call.
Chris Larson,
Present?
Mike D'Angelo was gonna be absent. Leah Begani was gonna be absent. Peter DeGotti,
Present.
Mike Hoey. Chris McCabe. Kevin McGovern. I see you, Kev, you're muted though.
I guess we'll count. Does that count?
There it is.
Sorry, is it working or no?
Now we
Apologies.
hear you. Okay, Jill Sullivan,
Here.
Bonnie Toribia.
Here.
Okay. You have quorum.
Okay. Please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Did everybody peruse the prior meeting minutes?
Yes.
Yeah. The only thing didn't we, when Mike suggested a contest for the tree purchasers and to announce the winner, was it that they get the tree for free? Isn't that what we said? The winner wasn't that
The winner we would pay for the winner's tree.
right,
That was-
is that clear in the way the minutes read, that we're gonna pay for it?
What section are you on?
On the very first page, the resident tree buying program, the last sentence.
Did we vote on that?
Were we discussing that? I think it was, yeah, I thought it was an idea.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, I
yes.
don't think I don't
Okay.
think it's like
Yeah.
official.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
There definitely wasn't a motion to spend money yet.
okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Yeah, second.
Second? Yeah, second.
Second.
Okay. Minutes approved. Project updates, we'll jump right into it.
Yeah,
Tree
great.
inventory grant.
So, where we were last time, was that I reviewed the Davy, tree keeper proposal, with everybody, and just as a refresher, they proposed for $15,000, which is the amount of our grant, to inventory 1,000 trees, and that would include, 1 year of software. And then we have to buy the software every other year subsequent to that. Since then, we received a new proposal from a company called Arbor Pro, which is also somebody I talked to a while ago, but they came back. And it's really compelling. It's good news. So their proposal is they would be able to do 2,600 trees, and they would give us the first year of software for free. So that's nice.
Sure.
They also, were of the opinion, that, we don't have 5,000 trees. That this 2,600 trees will get us pretty close to a complete inventory. Now, I mean, I'm gonna like raise an eyebrow at that when somebody's telling us we have 5,000 trees and someone's telling us we have 2,600 trees, but regardless of who's correct on our total quantity of trees, I think obviously 2,600 trees in a year of free inventory is a better deal. So the next steps here are, we are going to be hosting a demo for the players in the borough that would be using this inventory, next week. Assuming that they don't have any major issues with it. I mean, quite honestly, if they have major issues with this inventory, they're gonna have major issues, or with this, software, they will have major issues with every software that I've seen, because they're all very similar. This would likely be the company that I would suggest that the Shade Tree recommends to council. I did talk to Davey again after I received this, just, because, the person there has been patient and cooperative, and, I just wanted to give him a chance to counter.
Sure.
And he said that he could not touch this. Yeah, he said, I don't understand how they're gonna make any money off of this. He said, but that's good for the borough.
Well, maybe brand new, maybe they're just.
No, they're not. They've been around for a long
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah, and the also thing that Arbor Code would be including is the tree inventory summary, which is something that Davey was not including, that I was gonna do myself or ask Shari to do. So all around, he said, I understand that I can't compete with this. This is Davey, and he said, this is a really straightforward project. I can't even try and convince you that, they're gonna mess it up. So,
Okay.
that's where we are with this. What else did I say? I think that there's one, correction that I've learned, since last time also, that I've been, saying that once we do this, we would never have to do it again. That's not really the case. The recommendation is that you would do another inventory, and it would be faster and better, assuming that your town maintains the software as they go through their maintenance, and as they notice different problems or different conditions of the trees, or if they want to change the risk. However, 5 years down the line, it's a good idea to have another pro come out and kind of take another assessment of your complete inventory to make sure that, something that wasn't a risk 5 years ago and now is being identified if it hasn't been missed, to kind of like, account for the growth of the trees. What else, to like kind of look at the trends, like maybe, 5 years ago, the spotted lanternfly wasn't here and now it is. So kind of to identify something like that. And really, I think also a good point is just as we kind of go forward and make a management plan, this will be a good check on how we're doing.
Sure.
So, it's just something that I know I've said multiple times that I don't think we'd have to do this again, but as I asked that question to Chris Connolly at Arbor Pro, he kind of put that out there. And then again, reading, I went and actually finally read the new rules or the new guidelines for the community forestry management plan, and they mentioned also like a re-inventory. So, not anytime in the immediate future, but in 5 years from now, we might be looking to go down this path again.
Sure.
And there's also one other thing that I noticed. I don't think we'll need to do it now, but a sample-based inventory for forested areas is another recommendation, which is something we kind of touched upon. When we're talking about doing these individual tree counting and these individual inventories, it might be something we need to put on the radar in the 5-year plan.
Okay.
So that's that.
Does Arbor Pro do that? Would they go into like the natural area and take is it taking like a portion of it and counting?
Yes, yeah, it's kind of like like a sample,
Right.
yeah. Yes, they would do that, but that's that would be something that we would have to do in the future, because it's not gonna fit into the budget of this.
Yeah, because we talked about getting like Rutgers students as part of some, volunteer requirement or something, or.
Yeah,
And
you
they might
know,
be able to do
you
it.
absolutely could do that, and I think that that's, again, like something that we could give permission to put into the individual tree inventory, but for any of these inventories to count, they have to be done by certified arborists or
Yeah.
foresters. So, and then, what you need it for, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so,
That's great.
that's it on that, if anybody.
Great words.
Um,
Great news on that, what do they call Arbor Pro?
Arbor Pro,
Arbor
yeah.
Yeah, where'd you
that's
find
good.
They reached back out to us. I had talked to them a while ago, and they were on my list to call them again, and they read our minutes. And because they have a relationship with the New Jersey DEP, and then they kind of asked for a list of people that received the grant. So
Smart,
they reached
smart.
out to us
Very smart.
again.
Wow.
A little insulted.
Stab.
Earlier, I was like, I promise you're on the list, but I haven't gotten it yet. So,
He copied and pasted the shade tree meeting minutes to me
And
and
then-
said, I heard you need help.
yes, and then he like basically read back
Okay.
my comments to me.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
a little bizarre, but, I was like, yeah, that sounds like me.
It's great.
Yeah, so, so obviously I'm glad he did, and I think their software looks great. I think it'll be a great fit.
Okay.
Um,
So did they write up a?
Proposal?
Yes,
Yeah.
and then we have to get it approved. Like, when do we need to do this? ASAP, when would they want to do it?
Well, what's gonna happen is next week is they're gonna demo to the end
Right,
users,
okay.
and
Is
assuming
Nick
that.
and-
Yeah, and a few other people, and assuming that, they don't have any issues with it, then next meeting here, we would have to vote on what our recommendation would be. And then that would go to council after that. So, hopefully we should be able to vote on this in March, and then we would pass it off to, I guess, Brian to take it to council.
Sure.
And, I guess I would go to that meeting in case there's any questions.
If they inventoried like 2,600 trees, Jill, and that's like, I'm just making up a number, if that's 80% of the trees, is there a certain threshold that's considered like a full inventory, like per your earlier notes from last month, for it to count before you could go back for grants and stuff like that?
The good news is that we can have a partial inventory in order to be approved in the management plan. But part of that plan would have to include how we're gonna complete the inventory. So I think in order for it to be a complete street inventory, they'd have to hit every street. But, a partial inventory will give us credit in order to be approved, for our plan to be approved. So that's good news.
And could we,
if it is partial, then that's obviously will be part of our plan in order to complete the inventory, and, it could be done over. If that gets us to 80% or 50%, we can say we want to, do the next 25% in 2 years and then 25%, we just have to define how we're gonna complete it.
and can we fundraise to fund the rest of it, or how does that work? Like,
I don't remember, I had brought that up at one point, but I think that there's something.
I think you brought it up too. I just want to
Phrasing,
recall, I
I
think we
don't
can't do
remember
that,
what
yeah.
it was. Or was I,
Sounds like- Yeah, I mean, that would be more like an operational cost. I think the town would have to.
right, unless we wanted to pay for it out of our fund.
Yeah, I don't
but-
think, we wouldn't wanna. So we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, but I mean, we'd have to ask for the budget, I mean,
Right,
which is, we can do. But we would also. We'd have to make the town aware of it so they can put it in
right, I think it would,
one budget line item,
I can't imagine that would happen this year,
Right.
like we'd have to have them come back.
sure.
But I mean, things. They approved the budget in May or June, right?
It was a June,
It's still a working budget until
Yeah.
about April.
Okay, so, I mean, we wouldn't really know
That's just.
in time for this year's budget.
Right.
I guess, I don't know. I mean, maybe this guy's right, and if we're at 20, if he does 2,600 trees, and he's like, you have 100 more trees, that's gonna be super disappointing.
Did he come here? How did- how
No,
did
I
he
don't
guess it?
know.
Like-
From here on
like
out, it's
From
$300.
Google Earth, I mean, he's looking at.
That's what I assumed that both of these guys were doing, but this is why when one of them says we have 5,000, the other one says 2,600, I'm like, huh? Like, this is the
Yeah.
raised eyebrow. I don't know that they really know until they're here.
Yeah.
Which kind of, brings me back to the gut check question and, I think I could take this offline with Christy on like the idea of engaging some other people, like what would be necessary for us to engage the environmental club at RFH in order for them to kind of do a little work for us on counting trees and stuff. But, last time we did that with students, it was like permission slips and a whole hoopla. We don't need to spend time on that tonight until we actually know what we need to do. That's it. Yeah, so I'm up next again. So
You're up next,
yeah,
Mike. Welcome, President Tree Buying.
Tree buying. So we're still. Nothing much has changed here, I don't think, since last time. I started to put together the document that the brochure, I'll call it, that we used last time, with the trees that we landed on.
Mhm.
I have preliminary dates in there, of taking orders from March 4th to March 25th. That's like a Monday to Monday.
Okay.
Can you repeat that, John?
March 4th through March 25th
For orders?
for orders, with the info going to Fernbrook by Friday the 29th.
That's the hard date.
They wanted it by the end of March, so I'm kind of really pushing that, but yeah, I mean, she's pretty flexible. The planting will be mid-May. What I need help with, Christy, maybe, is that Google order form.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I'll work on finishing up the info sheet. It's like maybe 50% done. I just need to get some pictures and stuff in there. And then I'll give that graphic to Leah for posting online, on socials. And then the only other question, which Bonnie brought up already, is if we wanted to talk about Mike's suggestion of doing some sort of giveaway associated with the tree buying program. And I'll say initially, I thought about this a little bit more, and I think it like confuses it. Like, I don't know if it's the right decision. Because I think like the whole idea of how this program works, like what residents have to understand is like the order, this has nothing to do with the town, it has to do with Fernbrook, and you're gonna pay them and they're gonna show up. Like, it's a lot to like comprehend.
Right.
Without adding another variable in there, like, oh, and you might get it free. I mean, I like the idea, I just don't know if, because this program is so new, if this is the right time to do it. I mean,
Okay.
that's just my opinion, but,
Yeah, it makes sense. I guess it's all how we promote it, if we do, and say, I mean, is it something that we almost wanna not promote and then just randomly select someone and then promote the idea, the fact that we
yeah.
chose someone after the fact?
Yeah, I mean,
And,
it's just a lot, like, if you look at the information that goes out, it's a lot of information. Like, because it has,
Like 10 pages.
yeah, it's long, because it has a description of all the trees and
Mhm.
then like lots of links of how to order, like, it's just complicated, but, unless we wanted to do something, like we did with, the Bretones, where we ask people if they want to submit their request for a tree, and then we purchase one through the program like we did last time.
Mhm.
And kind of treat that as like that could still be an Arbor Day thing, like we're gonna give away a tree for Arbor Day on your personal property. I don't know, like, kind of chew on that for a minute. I just, when I was thinking about that today as I was trying to get this form together, and it's just a lot.
Mhm.
It's just, people don't read.
No,
No.
sure, they won't read pages, they need, you know, quick bullet points.
Yeah.
No, it's a good point.
I think it is a good point. Sorry to jump in, Chris.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a bunch of conversations with folks with the Kwanzaa cherry tree giveaway, and it was sort of in the other direction. It was they applied for the giveaway, and then I came back and said, you know, either you won, but that was only 2 people, or you didn't win, but you can buy the tree through the tree buying program, which is nice to be able to do. But I kind of agree with you that it's a lot of information all at once. I'm not exactly sure to think about that, but I think I agree with you, Joel, that it's tricky to message all that and have it clear. Yeah. Because I'm thinking now, if you were offering a tree and people had the tree buying program kind of all coming at them at once, it would be tricky. It would be confusing, or could be confusing.
So I have another, I know you got called, Christy, by Lee Davidson. Did she speak to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, about, a memorial tree.
Yeah, I saw that email too.
Okay, oh, all right, so,
Yeah,
what about, I mean, is that complicated because it's not being planted in that person's yard?
I think it complicates it because it's going on public property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm-
that's what I didn't want to respond to that email,
No.
the 3 of us were on it, because there are some, some technicalities we'll have to iron out, because they wanna, and it's very nice, and now that we have hard dates, we know she'll have some time to order up until the 24th.
The 25th, yeah, so if she could work out with the borough where that
and
would
then-
go, I can't imagine it would be a problem planting it,
I would
but.
hope it wouldn't be such a big deal, yeah.
Right.
And I think it's a nice spot, and, so, I think we can get that done, and if she's gonna get one, I think that's half the battle, I think.
Yeah, I mean, she talked about Third Street Trail, and I know, so this was a member of the Garden Club of Fairhaven.
Mhm.
And I even said, you know, what about like the bird sanctuary or something like that too? Maybe have, you know, I don't know. So,
Yeah, I saw also she was asking about like watering, so I'll
Yeah.
respond and say, that's all on you, but.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the, the
Yeah.
care will be the tricky.
Right, because it's
Is
on
everybody
public
else-
property,
well,
but.
if it's on Third Street Trail,
It'll
I'm
be-
there all the time, right?
Yes,
Sure.
yeah.
We could water it, but,
But, yeah, I mean,
I
you
wonder
think maybe she would be, was she set on Bicentennial Hall, or,
Bicentennial Hall?
that's where?
She listed a couple locations.
Yeah.
Oh, she did? Oh, she
Yeah.
did. She texted me and said, Third Street Trail. She did
Oh.
not say anything about,
I don't
oh,
know.
Bicentennial Hall.
Yeah, I don't know about Third
Maybe
Street
by
Trail
the
because that's
meetings today, but I
like,
guess
how are
I-
they getting a truck back there?
I know.
Yeah, so that one might be,
I wasn't sure how they plant, I didn't see the trees being planted, so I wasn't sure what was involved, but.
Yeah, I'm
Is
not,
it a back?
I didn't see them either, like I was trying to find them around
Yeah.
town, I didn't find them that day. But, yeah, I would have to ask about that if it was going into a trail.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, well, that's.
which I,
Alright.
that's less complicated,
Yeah.
of course, than trying to plant it at Bicentennial Hall, so there's that.
Or how they plan it, I mean, if it's all just manual. Hoping and digging it
Well-
out by hand, that
I mean, the question,
might be easier.
a memorial tree program. I mean, we have 5 or 6 on the Third Street Trail. People loved the idea of it, so I don't know if it could be part of, you know, like every fall we plant memorial trees if people want them or somewhere. I don't know.
Location, we shouldn't get hung up on location too much,
Yeah.
I think it's fine, I think it would be an easy sell.
Yeah, I could
Right.
reach out to them and ask them about how they
Just-
would feel about planting a tree that they have to walk down a trail to plant, like,
Yeah.
if they say. They can't do it during this program, then we would just have to say, yeah, you can buy it, but you can't put it there.
Yeah,
Um,
then,
but that's not how it's set up right now, but I could.
That's what they, yeah, I think they've ever had, yeah, buying a tree, but not if you don't have a place in your yard where they would.
then the default option would be Bicentennial Hall, I guess, forever, that's what she mentioned in the email she sent to.
I mean, she would definitely just have to get that approved though before they show up. obviously.
Right.
Because then I'll just have to take it home and I don't want, or back with them, and I don't want them to have to, I don't wanna mess up that relationship
Sure.
with us, yeah,
No,
yeah. At this point, we're still new.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we are, so, as soon as that Google, the form is ready to go, we could get it up and running.
How
in
was
plenty
their
of time.
How is their inventory? Are a lot of people buying trees? I mean, I feel like they are.
She said their inventory was low this year,
Yeah.
but the selection that she had for us was low. They had a big, not that they didn't have a lot of trees, they just had a lot of their wholesalers buy, like
Hmm.
large quantities, so, which is good, yeah.
All right, moving on, green team natural area update.
Okay, so the green team, Kelly Flanagan, the chair, presented at council meeting last night, to get the sign for the pollinator garden on First Street Trail, and that got approved. So it'll be an educational, the green team received a $2,000 grant from Sustainable Jersey to put in the garden, and part of it is an educational piece. So that's important, so they wanna, why did you plant this and all that. So we'll be buying plants and a sign to put in on Third Street Trail. In the spring sometime. A couple of days of Girl Scouts involved in planting some of the plants. That's some expressed interest. And Local Relief Day is again on May 5th, Sunday. We're planning and starting to talk about things, so we could think about what we want to do. We want to try to do something a little more engaging, like we had said last year, maybe. So anyway, I wanted to tell Peter to put that on the calendar.
It's on.
Okay, good. The Fairhaven Fields Natural Area, we had a fellow from Weeds Inc., which was a recommended invasive company, come out and just look at that property, the northwest corner that was cleaned out, just to try to make a game plan. Because we talked to a couple, different ideas of how to, you have to really prepare the site first, and we don't want to plant it and then have only bases come back, so we've talked about treatment options and all that. They actually went over and looked at bird sanctuary too, and Third Street Trail, and are putting together a proposal. But the big thing he said was, you have a deer problem. That is the #1 problem you have with any trees. They're eating all the understory. They're creating the invasive problem, and you need to deal with that. So.
Lock and load.
I don't know, I think it's more, it's lock and load, but, yeah, so that's gonna, it really needs to be addressed somehow, some way. And, I mean, he said,
Be
That-
above our pay scale.
yeah, no, I know, but it's
Yeah.
a talking point in town, because I mean, I spoke to a woman today, and she said, what do you, I said, it's kind of, we have to do something. There are so many more per square mile. He said we have like 200. We should have like 25 or something. I mean, it's incredible how many deer we get. And this was based on what he saw was eaten everywhere. He said, you don't have a chance for a baby tree to grow.
Mm.
Because as soon as it starts to grow, they bite it off.
Right.
So you can't regenerate the forest. So it's really isn't a big deal. And we need to figure it out, so. So anyway, so that they're working on that. I did talk to them about the saplings, like, I don't know, did we get that order in, the order for the little?
Oh,
saplings?
yes, that was confirmed.
Okay.
So we'll find out, I guess, closer to the date.
Yeah.
what was awarded.
So there's gonna be a volunteer day at Fairhaven Fields National Area, so I thought maybe if we wanted to give them away there, maybe the shade tree could show up and kind of collaborate, if anybody wants to come and volunteer and help give away trees, and then if people can either take them home, or if they don't want them, they could plant them in the natural area. So I am happy to go pick them up, and keep them in buckets of water until we're ready.
Next to your Salem Oaks.
Next to, you can't believe the trees in my driveway, I know. Yeah, they're next to Salem Oaks, yes. Please.
Look at there, look at there. Come.
Bonnie, when is that volunteer day?
So that we are talking about, April 27th, 28th, right after Arbor Day. So I'm thinking either one of those weekends. There's a meeting next week with the Historical Association, or excuse me, the Fairhaven Hills Natural Area Advisory. So we'll confirm that. But we're thinking it'd be nice to do around Arbor Day.
All right. Then all. Moving on to community outreach is Leah on?
No, she wasn't.
Yes.
gonna
Oh,
make
okay, all right. Got a little side note there, Ivy awareness, Chris McCabe. You aware of this, Ivy?
I'm aware of it. I didn't see any at the redwoods in California this week. I did some research. I didn't see much.
They don't grow that high.
Yeah,
I kind of at a loss here, what were we,
About the Ivy.
what, Ivy awareness? I know
Well, maybe,
we had a,
well, you know what,
good
maybe
avenue.
because of this volunteer day that we had at Third Street Trail, we were
Yeah.
attacking the ivy, I had sent Leah some information on ivy removal and why it's important, and I said, if
Okay.
you want to post something
Okay.
about our volunteer day,
Okay.
because it kind of showing
Yep.
people how to do it, and so maybe that was what it is.
Okay, Yeah.
And I'd also said, I read something at University of Maryland about ivy, and they said it can actually harbor bacterial leaf storage for oak trees, so it really is important to get it
Sure.
off.
sure.
So anyway, I thought, I don't
Yeah.
think she had time to post about the ivy, but
Well, that was a good outing on Sunday. I mean, I think,
Yeah.
do you know how many people?
We had about
showed up?
50.
50 people, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I hacked away a little bit there.
yeah.
Kevin was
Kevin
hacking
was
away.
there
Yeah, so it was fun. Actually, it was,
too. It's fun.
it was enjoyable. It was a nice day.
Good workout in the woods.
Sure, absolutely. Christine and I.
you won't know if you have poison ivy for another day or two, so.
Yeah, I got a lot of scratches.
Chris, you had sent an email about, engaging Sherry possibly on whether or not Ivy was helpful or a hindrance, and getting like a line on that, and then doing some community outreach on it, I believe your email said.
Yeah, we had, I thought the last, I thought, from what I remember was, we had done something similar to it, but I'll double check and I can send an email to Sherry. Chris, didn't you send me an email saying that we already did something like that, about the ivy? I thought, there was something saying that we kind of already did it, but I'll look into it. I was just gonna.
Oh, yeah, it was in the door hangers. Okay.
I was
Okay,
gonna
but
try to look into just doing it to some of the houses that we see where it's completely enveloping. All of their trees, and just trying to give them some kind of knowledge as to how it may lead to the death of the trees. And so that was my plan or theory.
yeah, I'm sure a lot of people might just overlook it, as at times it looks nice and they don't even think about it. But.
Well, it makes more of a screen because
Sure.
it's all over the tree,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it does, not good for the tree.
All right, moving on. So fighting climate change at home lecture. Bonnie and I went to a lecture and Jill, you were there?
Yeah.
I would have put you, I'm sorry, I would have.
That's kind of right.
You've done enough talking already this meeting. But it was at Monmouth University. I forget the gentleman's name, Bonnie. What was his name again?
Dr. Doug Ptolemy?
Oh, right. And no, I thought it was worth bringing up. There were some really interesting handouts. Had I known what I was taking in this handout, that we see it, some nice planting options here. See
I
this?
can
don't know if
scan it.
Can you scan
and
it, email it around?
Mhm.
But had I known I was taking such good material, I think I would have just taken the whole stack, and this would have been a great handout for Live Where You Love Day, or
Oh, yeah.
Love Where You Live Day.
What you love.
Live everywhere that you love. Love
They
everywhere.
both work.
Spread the love. But no, I thought it was a very interesting lecture. I told Bonnie jokingly that I said I fully expected to fall asleep, and I did not. I found it it was just very interesting, and I thought this gentleman handled it very well. I was expecting kind of almost like a, sky is falling and the planet's on fire approach, and it wasn't that. It was very measured and very insightful, obviously. Little steps could make a very big difference if everybody took those steps. The garden, pollinator garden, very important, easily done in your own backyard. Some of the other, what?
Plant an oak.
Plant an oak, I mean, that's a huge one. And I also thought, I found it interesting, I never gave it any thought. He mentioned how lethal the mosquito treatment has become. Even the people that just do it in their backyards, even the, quote unquote organic treatment is really wiping out way more than mosquitoes. And in fact, the mosquitoes aren't really even that affected by it. So I thought that was very interesting stuff to make you think.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that his approach or his message was very approachable, like take responsibility for yourself, basically, and your yard, and not to say, get rid of your lawn, but maybe make your lawn a little smaller.
Yeah.
And it just very thoughtful, like very digestible. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised as well.
I'm so glad.
Is that handout something you can scan and share?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christie will scan it, we'll email it around. I was thinking, and I don't know if there's any kind of. We didn't worry about any kind of copyright issues, but if we did scan it, or if we could get a printer to make the same thing, there are partnerships and sponsorships listed. Oh, no, it's Ocean County College. I mean, maybe we can print up,
We should probably get some.
get them like printed up, or maybe
Yeah.
they'll send them to us.
Is it Barnegat Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been around for a while,
Yeah.
2019, so, but it's really.
I think,
Peter
This was
also found another CEU opportunity that is featuring that speaker. I just found out, Peter, that they will give CEU, so I'll circulate that around as well.
Doug
And
Fallon?
then, yes, it was part of the Native Plants of New Jersey Society, right, Peter?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So she just got back to me saying they would offer 3 CEUs. I think it's like an all-day thing, so
Oh,
I will forward that along.
that's the
Anyone's
conference,
interested.
yeah. Is it down Tom's River, I think? Maybe.
I don't remember. I can take a look right now.
I get an email from them.
I think, I wonder if I could reach out to any.
Did we get our CEs? Did we get?
For 23,
Yeah. for the-
Oh, you mean for that
no,
lecture?
yeah.
They're not reflected yet. They
Wasn't
take a
well
while,
organized, but-
so, I will follow up with her next week.
Because we had a lot of townspeople go too.
That's great.
So, I mean, I told them all to sign in,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure if they would have.
they would get CEUs
Yeah.
if they signed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't have to be. It said you did have to put where you're from.
Once I get the list, I'll have you look at it.
Yeah, because they were,
We might have. 3 right here. What do we need? 8, Jen, Christie, I think?
For the year, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, but if
So-
there's like 8 people from Fairhaven that
right,
went.
we
and were-
already nailed it, and
There were a lot
save
of
that
people.
budget line. But I think maybe I'll reach out to these people here
March
and see, maybe
2nd,
they'll
Ocean
be
County
kind enough to send us.
Ocean County.
I'll forward it to the group.
Okay.
So they were saying that mosquito spray kills the trees. Is that what you're saying?
It kills the insects, it kills,
Yeah.
butterflies, and it pretty much kills everything. Not
Got
just insects. And apparently it really does not do, it doesn't wipe out the mosquitoes the way it's You would think.
So he was saying
It
that.
does very little damage.
Yeah, like managing, like trying to eliminate an adult mosquito population is difficult, and that's what that is trying to do. And he did give a way to, better control the
Yep.
mosquitoes from, their infancy, I guess, or.
Yeah, they're
Mosquito
mosquito dunks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great
Actually,
thing to
mosquito
have it where we lived at. I mean, I don't know if it would be this commission, but we
Yeah.
should,
That's a good idea.
because it really, yeah, it's luring them in, so they lay the eggs, and then this dunk kills all the eggs.
Christie,
No, I was just curious because it seems like, half or more of the town has those little signs on their lawns all the
That's
time,
so
right?
awful.
Yeah.
So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, so that's a lot.
Because they kill all the bugs in your yard too.
Yep. Christie, I just emailed you. I mean, it was a screenshot that I took when I was sitting in the audience there of what mosquito
Last
dunks
bite.
are, and,
Mhm.
I think he recommended basically putting out a bucket of water, and maybe a couple throughout your yard. That's where they go to,
Yeah, put a
Lay their
little
eggs,
straw
and then-
or something on top, and
Yeah,
then,
like
and then you
with
put the dunk
grasses
in.
or
Yeah.
something, and then putting whatever that $12 or whatever he said, $10
don't,
dunk
Right.
is in the bucket.
Literally look like little Dunkin' Donuts. That's the picture that Christie gave me. I don't know if it means it.
no, look at it. Well, they would be good, that would be a great handout.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
I think that would
Sure,
be a
they
great,
can.
that would be a great, social media post.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that and Ivy.
Yeah, so.
So it was a very interesting talk. Have you done anything active?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I know you loved it.
I've watched him several times and but he keeps changing it and getting more and more. But just when he shows you, when he adds up all the national parks and all over the country, and then the private land is so much bigger
Mhm.
than everything else. And so if we could just do our part on our own little private piece, and everybody does that, it adds up to be way more than the national parks. And his ideas, stop thinking about wildlife in the national parks. Think about it as part of your own environment,
Right.
and
Yep.
be
Mhm.
part of it instead of, yeah.
Right.
So. Of course, he's all into leave the leaves and,
Oh, yeah.
don't put chemicals down. Which is,
Yeah, but I think it's so smart how he's talking about it too. He's like, of course, like you leave your leaves, but maybe you clean up leaves on the majority of your property, but you leave it where it falls directly underneath your tree. So it's very intentional, like
yes,
to say, yes, I am taking care of my yard. This is on purpose.
Mhm.
right.
Like, I thought that was
Yeah.
like, to me, like that was just a really smart, it's just
Right.
smart.
He wasn't really lecturing, he was just
Right.
Yeah.
informing.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
But they call that soft landings, like leaving the leaves under your tree, so that when the little cocoons and things fall off, they land in there and then they can live there all winter.
Yeah.
And then they can become bird food in the spring.
That's very good. Okay, moving on, Christmas tree, Mike Hoey is
Not here.
not on, okay, I'm gonna have to get with him. And Sound Oak Tree, I guess we're
Yeah,
just counting the days, right?
I just need to schedule something that week with Marilyn, and
Sure.
I just need to get a hold of her. She's
Yep.
very, very, very busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you, I will, for the next meeting, I'll try to get like a couple days, and then, because I know some people, I think Mike really wanted to be there.
Yep. I think I said before, like, if we can agree on a date at this point,
Just tell her.
I mean, I don't wanna now exclude her, or give her another.
Yeah, no, but do you want to pick a, well, Mike's not here.
Mike's not here, I mean, the formalities, Christie, we can't pick a date, just three of us, correct? If outside of this
Well,
meeting.
is there anybody else, who did we say wants to come?
Would
I'm
anybody
happy
else
to
like
help
to
with anything you need,
help
so
out?
just let me know.
Okay.
So,
If we are gonna involve the kids or the school, it would obviously the weekday is,
right,
um,
well. The Arbor Day, the actual things that Mike does would is that on Arbor Day, the drawings and all that? Does he go into this?
The drawings are submitted prior to Arbor Day and then. He would submit them or did he email them around or did some of them wind up here when we voted?
They
He brought them here, right?
Yeah, brought him here.
Um,
You guys looked them at your May meeting following Arbor Day, and then June,
Was
the
the-
winners came and
yeah,
received
so
it
the award was on
in June.
in June. But when did we pick the award? Right before,
When you
Closest
said
to the Arbor
before,
Day.
love where you lived at, because it was known who won at that point, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Your May meeting
So
was
that's
May fifth.
okay,
I think when we hung all the pictures up, I think they had the winners.
okay.
Okay, so,
April or May,
well, earlier is better
okay,
because, it's just gonna be cooler. There's that greater chance of water, the earlier.
sure.
So I don't know. I mean, it's Arbor
Late
Day.
March.
I mean, do you want to try for Arbor Day, Friday,
Oh, yeah,
the 28th,
yeah,
April 28th?
let's go.
Friday the 26th.
The 26th, I'm putting my glasses on, 26th, yeah. Sorry.
I like it.
Kevin, are you around on Friday, the 26th?
Yeah, I can, as long as something doesn't come up from work, I could probably work from home and help out that day for sure.
All right, you just check with Mike.
Yeah, sure. Do we need to vote on that? No, okay.
Okay, so I will ask.
Okay. And then moving on to Arbor Day, Mike is not here. I know, he did send an email. He is, working on the usual Arbor Day plan for the drawing and everything like that. So it's moving along. I think he. Tuesday, April 23rd, we will be having an Arbor Day theme day of programming. We will have the tree theme. Oh, this is from, for the Sickles age kids. And this is from the librarian, children's librarian. April 23rd, they will be having a Arbor Day themed programming. We will have, tree themed story ages 1 through 4 at 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. which will feature tree stories and a tree take and make craft. For our after-school program, K through 3, it'll be from 3:45 to 4:15. We'll have a handprint tree craft.
Who's that? Maybe,
This is who he usually works with
Yeah.
for this program, is the librarian. So I think
Okay.
they're,
I think they're all new.
they're all,
right?
Anita.
Yeah.
yep.
I just was trying to think if we could plant the tree while they have a bunch of kids doing something related to Arbor Day, if we wanted to try to coordinate it, or if maybe that's too busy.
Yeah,
I think it's nice that they do something on Tuesday, actually have something going on Arbor Day.
on actual Arbor Day, yeah. And maybe we'll have Mike reach out to the librarian and tell him this is what we're doing on Arbor Day, right there in their
Okay,
in the park, and I think that'd be nice. So, but I think we should hold firm and plant that sucker.
all right, or suckers.
Two
Or
of them.
we have-
Yep.
Yeah,
That's at the
yeah.
other park. and
William,
the-
Albert.
Williams. I think we're gonna have to circle back to that one, because I think that. Was it,
DJ.
DJ had some questions about it, or
Well, he just didn't want it
Wayne
in the
didn't want it moved, yeah.
There's so much room in McCarter. I mean, if we put it on somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm all in favor of it, and they are going to lose
They are,
some trees.
no,
So I like that idea. I
Yeah.
think all 3 should go right there. I don't know. If everybody's in agreement, I think,
Yeah, get them off your porch.
yeah, let's go.
yeah, it's involved.
Let's do it. Another year will go by like that.
I know, and I'm like.
You'll be-
so afraid
Those
what
trees will
the-
be another year older by.
Dying.
All right, we're gonna go for 3.
Okay,
Bring your shovels. Okay, next item is Habitat for Humanity property tree removal. There is a property corner of Hendrickson Place and Allen Street. It's going to be it was explained that it was a court order that it's going to be handed to Habitat for Humanity. And that lot will be cleared. Sherry Spiro did go there to look over and survey the area. There was I should have handed these out, but the lot of invasives. Basically, the lot is covered with invasives and ivies. There's a couple of native trees there, but apparently they're in very bad shape. The one tree is right in the middle of the proposed structure. But she also mentioned that it was in very bad shape. So
is there a house on this property now?
there is not. It's if you're looking at the entrance of Public Works, it's to the right, down
Is
further
that-
down the street to like the corner.
Okay, not the one right next door to the DPW. No,
No,
okay.
Wait, where is it?
Allen and Hendrickson?
Yeah, there's no trees, I mean, there's nothing like that.
no. It's right, Kevin, it's if you're coming off of Third and you go down Allen Street, like you want to go into the Public Works, just keep going.
Yep.
Go to the opposite corner. It's
Got
right
it.
there.
And what is Habitat for Humanity doing there?
I don't have all the details on that. I guess they are,
Affordable housing.
it was affordable housing. And we have to meet a, I guess, quota, if you will.
Got it.
And, this is the property that's been selected to be developed.
Got it.
So that, she does say there's a grove of sassafras that have covered with ivy.
Mhm.
Are they gonna try to cut the ivy off first?
It's,
Depends on if there's anything wrong with them, but.
yeah, I don't know. This is, I have a feeling when this property gets developed, they're gonna do the usual clearing. And but I mean, the way I read this is, and I haven't driven by it recently, but it doesn't look like the property is in necessarily great shape as far as the trees are concerned.
The borough is obligated to have a shovel-ready lot for Habitat for Humanity, so that's why, as such, the trees have to.
But I think this is a good opportunity for us, weigh in before the plan gets too far and make sure that they are planting native species on it when they.
So they're
Do that.
taking out, so whose job is, or? So are they gonna replace all, like, how many trees, does it say how many trees are on there? How many total
No.
trees? Oh. Well, if it's
They're gonna build a house on this.
yeah, if it's a habitat, I mean, like the Garden Club of Fairhaven,
Mhm.
there's a lot of landscaping for Habitat for Humanity, that's one of their things they do. So, I mean, that would be a nice place to donate, a tree to. I don't know.
Could be. This is really in its infancy, so
Yeah.
it's, way out there.
So what are they asking us to do?
Teresa just wanted us to be aware of it. She wanted to know this is going on and, wanted us to be aware. So, now we're aware.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, if you start seeing some trees come down, I mean, Sherry seems to think that everything, that was. I don't know, I did not get the sense that there was, and I could be wrong, but I didn't get the sense that There's
Yeah.
much of value here. I can see you have a different thinking.
Well, I just feel like if you have mature trees and you put your house, it helps it blend in. Like, who wants a house on an open lot with nothing? Like, if you just have a few trees that are around you, it makes it
Mhm.
look like the house is more, I don't know, cozy, nice.
Yeah.
I just, if you can keep them at the corners, I understand they want
Well,
to be
they,
built.
they might very well do it. I mean, she was just talking about the tree that was in the middle of, right in the middle of the
Right.
proposed structure, and that there was a hazardous black locust near the,
Right, and
near
they're,
the sidewalk,
they're
so,
weeds anyway.
yeah. So,
Okay, well, they're asking for our opinion, no? Yes.
okay, 2024 shade tree calendar. Peter,
Yeah, so just
How
to
we
remind
doing?
everyone, what's that?
how we doing with it?
Doing all right. So just as a reminder, the original thought was just to get key dates on account. I was originally thinking a calendar, but I think it might just be a list of dates. We don't have that many. But to just facilitate our planning. So to keep those dates in front of us as a group, and each meeting we can refer to them. And that will help us to think about things like, budgeting, scheduling approvals for budget, that sort of thing. And so I just thank you, Christy, for getting this up on such short notice. So I just started a list, and I've actually been, as we've been talking, filled in a few dates so far. So, Christy, I think it moved. Can you scroll down? I'm just seeing the top of my email. It was there before. But so March, we have resident tree buying program. Jill, I just filled in March 29th is the plant list is due that date. April, we have Arbor Day on the 26th. And I believe we said we're going to plant the Salem oak on Arbor Day. Was that right?
26, yeah,
What's that?
Yes.
on the 26th, yes.
Yep. May, we have Love Where You Live Day, and Bonnie, that's May 5th. I just heard that, so I'll jot that down. And then I had some other things. The community forestry management plan deadline, I think it's December 24, but somehow it's actually the 2025 because of I don't really remember why, but there's some reason that we have an extra year. Does that sound right to people?
We have to hire Sherry, right?
No.
No, we don't.
I believe that you must start working on it, but you have almost like a grace year to be working on it and then complete it by the 25th. But ours does expire December 31st, 24.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
so in order to be compliant for after 2025, it would have to be complete.
okay. All right.
Yeah, but so is it something we're doing ourselves?
No, we'll probably have to hire somebody, but it's not necessarily gonna be Sherry.
Okay,
Yeah,
We're waiting to see if grants are available.
yeah.
They might be.
okay.
Hopefully.
But it has to be
Five to
like,
six
it
thousand.
has to be a licensed tree expert, right? Yeah.
And Christy, it looks like
A
we
lot
lost
more.
the list again.
So this is really funny because if I put it on your side of the screen, they can't see it in person. If I put it on your side of the screen.
Oh, I don't need to see it. If you guys can see it, that's great. I just thought I was looking at what you guys
Do
could
you
see.
want to, the other, what I just mentioned about the Fairhaven Fields Natural Area Volunteer Day, the weekend after Arbor Day, the 27th, 28th, I think.
Yeah.
That we might be. I mean, kind of one of our things we're supposed to be doing is educating people and engaging the public, right? As part of the Shade Tree Commission.
Yep.
So yeah, community outreach. So that's why I thought if we were at their check-in table, maybe there's something about the trees and, you
Yeah,
know,
that's a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that weekend, but I need to confirm that volunteer weekend with the Fairhaven Fields Natural.
Okay. So that's Fairhaven Field.
Fairhaven Fields Natural Area Advisory Committee.
Great.
Shorter name. But, I would say,
Acronym.
yeah, it's like the, I would like, yeah, I don't know, the NA committee. Either the weekend before that or that weekend, so.
Okay.
I'll find out from them.
Okay, and that's the weekend after Labor Day. We think.
It's
Arbor
Arbor Day.
Sorry, Arbor Day.
Yeah,
Right. Great.
like the day after, yeah.
Okay. So I'll get that in there. Tree lighting, do we want that on our list? Does that matter to us?
Planting
Well, it
first.
all depends on what tree we're lighting, I guess. Maybe hold off on that one for now.
Yeah,
We got some
okay.
time on that one.
Okay.
That goes out in the Borough Buzz too, right? So it's already
For the
advertised.
calendar?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, this is for our planning I mean, we can also use it to communicate to others, but this is for our planning purposes so that we can just keep out ahead of some of these things, just kind of keep them in front of us and make sure we're thinking about them. The Arbor Day drawing contest, I just put in there, so maybe we can add that to the list. Maybe it's not important enough to be on this list. The fall resident tree buying program, maybe we just put that out there and we'll pick a date for it later.
You could put that in, you could put that in, August.
August.
Yeah, because that's what it was last year.
Okay.
Do we want to think about like a theme for each month or something that Leah could, just to steer Leah, give her, I don't know, just some idea of what we might want to be telling people? What, no, that's.
No, I'm laughing, I'm like, oh my goodness.
I mean, I guess I would just think,
Yeah, I'm good.
just like
I
a,
would-
like a pruning tip or something in the spring or in the fall, consider leaving your leaves. You know why this is important, like, I don't know, it's just something. I mean, I do like send Leah, like ideas every once in a while, so I mean, I could just do that if you'd rather. That's maybe look at all that. If I like to do that.
If you want to make the agenda. Yeah.
Like,
No, maybe we could be thinking about those things, right? Like this is pruning season or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of think
I mean,
about those things. Any key dates for the tree ordinance at this point?
I'll let you guys know as soon as it's on the, council agenda for workshop.
Okay.
Yeah.
When do you
The
find?
next council meeting is February 26th.
Okay.
And that agenda, the mayor hasn't worked on yet. But
Got
if it is gonna be on the 26th, because that would be the first step, is getting it to a workshop session.
Mhm.
I will obviously forward it to you guys so you can go to the meeting if you want and read over it and everything.
Okay.
Not
Good.
in March.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to have on the calendar, yeah. With everybody, it would be, I think it would be great to have a show of support, yeah.
Right.
To be there,
on the ordinance.
yeah, just for when it's gonna be discussed.
Great.
We're gonna, yeah,
It's just,
Keep
the upsetting thing is how much, every time a tree comes down, we could have been making money. If they didn't plant a tree, have a, be stockpiling or a little tree bank.
no doubt about it,
So,
no doubt about it.
And I don't know if we're getting too much in the weeds here, but the annual budget, it's good to have on here, like when we need to have that annual budget in. Which I think, is it October? I was looking at the ordinance. It looked like it was October, but I don't know if that's actually done in practice. And then
First week of December, so I think you guys
We
talked
did it
about
in
it.
November meeting.
but should we start in October? It's probably not bad, because it usually takes a
Yeah,
while.
Sure.
It's a good idea. Leave that in there.
Peter,
October
you said
meeting.
it's in the ordinance that, what, I have to go look at that.
what's that?
What was in the ordinance, regarding the budget?
Oh, I was I don't know, I was poking around the ordinance, that was the kind of formation of the Shade Tree Commission. Let's see if I can find it.
That one was in here. That's.
Yeah, certification of expenditures. During October of each year, the commission shall certify to the Borough Council the estimated sum necessary for the proper conduct of its work during the ensuing calendar year. It doesn't seem like that's happening in practice.
Well, but maybe we should start.
And then annual report, I think that tends to fall to the chairperson, but that I think, when do we do that? It's at the end of the year.
Right, we put the report together, and then it's submitted to council, I think this year. I think I'm doing it at the March meeting now.
Yes, I think
Or
as
not.
of now, he has you.
So that should be on the calendar, right? The day that you're gonna present, so we can all come and support you.
I will keep you in the loop. The
By
agenda
all means.
tends to change, so I will,
Okay,
as soon
yeah,
as it's
that's
set, I will definitely let everybody.
Okay. So that would be kind of a March thing, right? And then we can keep an eye on it and then think
Be good
about
if it was the same date
when
as
we
the-
want to back into that.
And maybe the tree inventory.
You're right.
Anything else that just, you can get back to me later, but anything anyone else wants to add to this list now?
Thinking of like action.
We wanna plant any trees?
Well, we have two major, we do have the tree buying program twice a year, which is great. Arbor
When
Day.
we do the inventory, I could give you that date, but that's still.
What was that?
When the inventory is being conducted, we can put that on there.
Okay, yeah, right.
But we won't know that until we're approved, but
Okay,
that could be a TBD if you're keeping a list there.
yep. Great. Well, we'll give this a try, see if it's helpful. And what I'll do is I'll clean this list up, and then Christy, I'll send it back to you, and then maybe we can include it if it works for the group in the documents for next time.
Of course.
No, Bonnie, you do bring a good point, we should be planting trees, obviously. The fall tree buying program our dates would be in August, you said, the
Yes.
sale orders?
Yeah, last year we took orders in August,
Mhm.
like for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they planted at the end of September.
Okay,
So I would assume that we would have a similar timeline this year.
okay,
They do their inventory in the end of June, beginning of July, and then that's when she lets me know what's available.
okay.
And then it just takes a little time to put together.
Yep.
And they like to plant, September, October.
Okay.
Uh,
Was there a price change, or has she let on to
The
any
price,
price?
the prices stayed the same, with the exception of one of the evergreens. Instead of being 270 is 325 because it's a bigger tree.
Okay,
But
Is it a Christmas tree?
no, it was one of the junipers. But it was, the shade trees and the flowering trees are 385, and then the evergreens are 270 like I said, with the exception of that one that's a 7 to 8 foot tree as opposed to a 6 to 7 foot.
okay.
But yeah, that's good.
Maybe we should start working on. If we're gonna, my thinking was if we. Shade tree buys X amount of trees, we're gonna have to get approval, because they're not all going in our individual yards. But that is something we should probably work on now, picking areas and. Because we're gonna have to get approvals, I don't know if it's gonna have to go to a meeting or several council meetings, it might be. something, obviously, if we picked a third street trail, if
Yeah,
They
I
can
doubt about that.
and for us,
Yeah, there,
But-
I mean, I don't know, I still, that playground behind the community center is so hot and awful that nobody wants to go there.
right.
Um,
Christie, are there any updates? I mean, I know that the construction is going on, but, and I think I mentioned this before, that was always the one like, oh, we're gonna do construction back there, so we can't plant anything back there, but, I mean, the construction is underway. I think we probably have a good idea, I guess, what kind of, damage would be done to any area that we'd want to plant around the playground.
Have you
At
talked
this
to
point.
DJ about it at all, Bonnie? Sounds like a yes.
I think I talked to everybody about it, it's just, would he be in charge of
Because
that?
it's a park, that's his
Yeah.
jurisdiction.
Okay, so the DJ thing, wow.
And he would
DJ.
certainly know if there's gonna be changes to that area with the new,
Yeah, I wonder what the tennis court's gonna be, I don't know what the.
I forgot what they're doing with that tennis court and basketball court. That's what I mean, he would know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Is there a plan as far out area wise as
I don't
the
know,
basketball court, the one that's there now?
I don't know.
No,
Because
there was, I think the old basketball court that, was,
closer to
yeah,
third.
to parking, no,
Oh,
the one that, the little.
Oh, I
one that
forgot
felt
about that.
cracked,
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah,
there's the
okay.
tennis courts, and
Well-
they're both gone.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't thinking, I mean, you weren't thinking planting stuff back there, but closer to the park, the playground.
Yeah, so just,
Up front there.
I mean, wasn't there, when I first started, there was also that, the people on Maple that were promised trees
Mm-hmm,
along their property line
mm-hmm.
that never got replaced, and we had said, wait.
Yeah.
So that could be an opportunity
Yeah.
too.
well, that's kind of
Make
like
good
boring,
on
you promise a tree and we're pretending.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why did they lose trees to Maple? I'm trying to think where.
Like,
Where
they
you
back
talk-
up to the park, they back up to like the basketball court area.
There was some kind of work done there, I forget what it
What was
was.
In the church?
No, like,
Did they put on sidewalk?
no, it's what happened up in the
Oh,
park?
well, yeah. I was
Yeah.
actually talking to one of the gals, so she actually backs up right behind the playground.
Yeah,
Mhm.
She
yeah,
said
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
took out a bunch of trees.
Yeah. but I can't
don't
remember
know why they
why,
did,
I
yeah.
don't remember why.
I think a branch fell on or near the playground and they came in and evaluated the condition of the trees and I think a lot of them were at risk for, coming close to hitting the playground and so they took them out, I thought. I thought that was part of the motivation for cleaning it up.
Yeah, there was something about that, and I feel like there's like two things that happened which eliminated that, or maybe that's what Chris.
Yeah, one of their
said.
backyards,
Equipment.
see, there's two that just got wiped out, like they had no.
But they definitely were promised some sort of
Yeah.
replacement that never happened.
So maybe that should be the goal.
Yeah.
Rather than, I know, like, I like personally to like. Pick one thing, work on it, cause time constraints, so we seem to. We don't get anything done, I don't know, I think that should be. The goal, maybe make good on that promise, so, I mean, we didn't make, the Shade Tree Commission didn't make the promise, the town did, but,
Right.
maybe we should work towards getting
Who are the people?
X amount of
Kathy, what's
trees
her
in that
last
row.
name?
The one that was, yeah, well,
Well, there's Christie stuff, Christie stuff was there, and then, the name's escaping me, it'll come to me, but she was the one that, I know she reached out to me at one point, and. she-
I think a couple, they came to meetings.
Yes,
When
yeah.
early on, when, like, I first
Yeah.
started, they came to a couple meetings and kept bringing it up,
I can picture her
Like, we
face again.
can't- we don't have that
What's the
power.
name?
but
we
it's
should.
thinking the Shade Tree Commission should be people that can get it.
We'll try.
Yeah.
So if we want to shoot for, let's make that our project for the year, what do we say? We want to shoot for a fall planting for them. And, so calendar wise, we want to make sure we'll have to go check out the area and.
We should probably talk to the people that put in all that effort to come talk to us too.
Well,
That's really town property, but still.
So
so,
maybe we'll pencil in sometime in October, maybe. To plant a,
It would be like September with the resident tree buying program. in
September?
theory, right? Yeah.
What do you think, Brian? Feel like your wheels are turning.
only because, we kind of gotten approval for Arbor Day. And then there was a couple little glitches here and there to put some plants in, so. There are a couple trees that are there. One of them got knocked over by a deer,
Where are you talking about?
next to the playground, and I did talk to one of the neighbors about it.
Okay.
The other hearse.
Yeah, so we did. A couple people kind of popped in, a couple, but I don't know if they're gonna make it or whatever, but there were 2 blows there,
Okay.
but they need more.
Tree ninjas.
Tree ninjas.
You're on record.
That word has been used.
But they need more.
They need more.
So they still need trees as well.
Yes, so I have Kathy and she was, yes.
Okay.
very-
So.
She also was very worried that just another, right behind where the tennis court was, there's this line of trees that look like they belong to the person that lived behind the tennis court, but she said they're actually the borough's property. And she said, I feel like they're gonna take them all down. I don't know what they're gonna do there, but it's hard to describe it, but if you're on the playground and you're kind of looking.
Old tennis court.
Yeah,
between
behind the
and-
old, and you look and you think it's the person's yard, there's just a bunch of, probably locust, and I can't really, because you can't really see, there might be.
Behind the wall, like the tennis wall.
Not that-
Like,
Behind where the court was. Anyway, that might be a project place too. It'd be nice if they left those and didn't just take them down, but.
Do we have any, Christie, do we have any clarity on that area? Like right behind, no, like in the old tennis court, right? We don't have a plan for that.
We can ask DJ.
Yeah, see if
He
there's,
would know.
but if there was pending work, not part of this, not part of the,
It might
Ongoing
be phases.
what's that?
It might be phases.
Okay, but if there would have been by now there'd be a drawn up plan.
Yeah, I'll ask DJ.
Okay.
I don't know.
I can find out, I would love to know if they're gonna put where the tennis court was. It'd be nice if the community center had windows instead of that's, and it opened up onto an area that was actually nice to hang out in, and shaded,
Yeah, like a community.
like a community center, like it was actually a community center.
Not like a giant holding cell? Alright, I'm just trying to think how to approach this, if we wanna try to get trees planted in that area behind those people's homes. I guess, I'll reach out.
Well, you can't, you aren't gonna do that till they take the fence down from the project, because it's kind of. You have to go look at it.
Well, how far is that? I'm talking about that behind the
More where the
basketball court is, the
Yeah.
one that's usable, the one
Well,
that's.
this is
the-
pretty wide open, but you do have to get
But-
approval from the neighbor, she comes out and talks to you.
Well, not if it's on town property.
Right.
Well, look, we're gonna try to help you, lady.
Yeah.
You're gonna work this here,
Well, she did plant a big tree in her yard and she wants to make sure it doesn't get shaded, so,
Oh, okay,
but there's still plenty of room,
okay, all right.
just can't have acorns on the basketball court.
No. Okay. That makes
Got
sense.
that
All right,
word.
we'll figure out something maybe.
No government.
See if I can get the ball rolling here. Okay.
Right,
Moving on to tree removal permit data.
Oh, it's on the dais, at the last meeting, she signed here, she requested the cumulative 23 data, so that's in there as well. Let me see if I could share this. Can you guys see?
Yep. Thank you.
This is fine.
Wait, what?
It shook out to be number.
oh wait, that is so
removed,
deceptive because
Number replaced.
Wait,
Is
is
there
it
just, if you scroll to the bottom, it's
that,
281 remove, 242 replace.
okay, but that's 242.
That's what they were told to do.
Who was told?
The person removing, this is what they were told they had to replace.
Oh. Oh, so how many of these have been planted?
I don't know. That's what they were, this is what they were told to do.
Hmm. Well, so I mean, so isn't this the code enforcer to see if these have been done?
So in the letter that the resident gets when they are approved for the tree permit, it says, please send a picture. Once it's been planted, they also get a grace period because obviously no one's gonna plant a tree now. So they get a grace period till typically like 6 months. So like a lot of them, all the ones that are being done since probably November, they get until June 1st, 2024. So kind of like a moving target.
Who checks to see if these are done?
We were just about to put you in charge of that, Chris. You wanna be
It's
our,
all- That'll go well.
officer? Well, that, I mean, that issue came up repeatedly over review of the ordinance. Again, what did they call it? What's the name in the ordinance? Tree
Conservation
officer,
officer.
tree conservation officer is the title. Still trying to get clarity on that. I would imagine that this would fall under their purview.
The tree conservation.
So, and one of the big, kind of loopholes in the tree ordinance that needs to be fixed is, so this person has to plant this tree, but
Mhm.
then it's under the DBH, like the protected circumference, because it's only a little baby, so it has no protection going forward. So they can
Right,
put
we
it
talked about
in
that. They could put it in, take it out.
and then, or just on water.
A few
let it
months
die.
later,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, that has been I think the ordinance, basically speaks to a lot of good things, but it's gonna, all of it, the whole thing is gonna come down to enforcing it and
Mhm.
inspecting it and re-inspecting it in this case, like a year later.
Mm.
How's your tree doing? I mean, it's daunting, it's complicated, it's kind of funny, but like, I mean. Are you really gonna have someone in the town? A town employee that is checking up on people's trees a year or two later down the road? From a construction project or a renovation. That's
Sort of
what-
untenable unless, like someone's enforcing it.
Right.
You'd have to shift the burden to the person that is supposed to put the tree in and then provide like a picture for a couple years or something,
Right.
That's
If we're
There's
concerned
some
about
kind of-
people putting something in and ripping it right out, it's like, how are you ever gonna know?
Well, send a picture of your tree with the newspaper in front of it. Like
Proof of life.
But honestly, I mean, I mean. You levy just a
problem.
super heavy fine on it and then,
Mhm.
make it so,
And they can just,
Scare
they
people.
don't have to have the tree, they can contribute to the tree fund, like that would be the thing. If you don't want a tree, then put money in, but we'll plant a tree somewhere else, right? So
That's a
yeah,
good idea.
I think
that's,
there is that option.
yeah,
Then you're gonna need it.
Yeah, and then again, who's managing that tree? Somebody goes in and plants a little tiny stick tree in the middle of who knows where, right?
so it strikes me, there's an education piece missing here. Right? Why should people, I mean, I don't know, how do you?
You mean
encourage-
people should
Just how do you encourage
want
people
to
to
do this.
understand why a tree is
want
so
to do
important
this,
in their
right?
yard?
Sure.
It increases their real estate value, it gives them shade, it reduces
Yes.
heat, I mean, eventually, I mean.
I
that's-
mean, I think in many cases, I think probably in more cases than we think, people are gonna want to plant the tree and keep the tree. Uh,
But I think like, I
Base that
think
on,
you're
but
right, that's like the intention is good, but there's work involved in keeping a tree alive, especially the first year.
Sure.
And if it doesn't make it, I don't know that there's the motivation to try again,
Right,
right? Like, I think that that's where the breakdown
Sure,
happens
sure.
a lot.
sure.
All you do is get a glass of wine, turn your hose on and stand there for a few minutes, and it's so easy. It's very relaxing.
That's a good
watering.
I was just gonna say, I think it'd be a great Instagram, but I think Bonnie, I think, what do we do, like
Yeah.
Instagram, Snapchat, throw out little tidbits from Bonnie
Okay.
coming to you. Glass of, what are you, Chardonnay, are you a Sauv Blanc kind of gal?
Oh, yeah.
Weekly updates still here.
What was that, Kevin?
I was saying a weekly update of you standing with a glass of Chardonnay saying still here.
See, taking care of this is easy.
Yeah, it's just, it's
Oh, yeah.
not that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard ordering one for me, one for you. Oh, see, this could be fun. We might get a lot more followers.
It might.
Right?
That's the approach we're missing.
Probably would.
I mean, it is very, everything else is
Okay,
driven by-
drink of the day to water your tree.
Yeah, yeah, water yourself while you're watering the tree.
Yes.
Getting back on topic,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are we gonna do with this?
That's just for your review. And the other note on the agenda is the accreditation, so I submitted all the paperwork for the Tree City USA and the NJUCF annual report accreditation, so should be good for another year of being accredited. And that's it, so you're all up to date on that stuff.
Okay. I think we'll make a note, at the next meeting, though, let's have a discussion with our new liaison about enforcement. It's in the ordinance, but is there really any kind of plan to,
Well, I think, yeah,
execute,
Right.
the enforcement?
I think Brian is looking for very clear direction. What exactly do we want him to do?
Yeah.
He's, you know,
Yep. No, I got
I
that
think that would
impression
be
as
great.
well, so. I'll come up with some of the bullet points for him and, shoot them over.
I
New agenda.
I was gonna say, I just have, yeah, the new agenda. I forgot to tell us about the Fairhaven Village Natural Area. It is the 50th anniversary of that property. 1977, that property was acquired. All of the natural area. I mean, the Fairhaven Fields, the natural area, that whole big tract of land, 77 acres, that the whole, so Dave Bordelon, one of the members of the, who was the chair and has been on the committee forever, wrote a history of the area, and it's really beautifully written, and you read it, and you're like, oh my gosh, the whole town worked together to make this happen. Get the grants to keep it from being developed, and you think about if that area, if those people had not gotten together, I mean, everybody was involved in saving that. Think what this town would be like if we didn't have those playing fields and we didn't have the natural area. I mean, it's amazing. So we're trying to work on some sort of celebration, some sort of awareness about that.
And that's this year, is there a
Mhm,
specific
this
date
year.
for the?
Well, we haven't picked a date, but I
Oh.
all kind of feel like it should be, I mean, it's this year. It was 77, or it was 70, what am I saying?
74.
74,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're just in the process of trying to think of a way to celebrate it. So maybe we want to donate a tree to the natural area in honor of the 50th anniversary. I don't know, just something. might be
Okay.
nice.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I like that too.
On the agenda.
Definitely something to be celebrated.
Yeah,
That'll be under your natural area update, Bonnie?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Anybody else? New agenda items? Moving on to public participation. Are there any public participants?
If you have a question online, please use the raise hand feature and I will bring you over.
Susan?
Mhm. No questions.
Okay. Make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Yes, second.
That's a second. All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Thanks, everyone. Hey, everyone. Good meeting, Chris.
Good evening.